Hello, welcome. This is Charlie at My Messy Fingers. I just finished this album. It's Graphic 45's Merry and Bright Christmas Collection. The collection was sent to me by Scrap and Create. They're an online store, so if you haven't been on their website, please skip over and do that when we're done with the video. Share them some love. What I have here is a 9x9 album with a 1 7/8 inch spine. I did cover this in gold cardstock, and then I put a layer of red cardstock because I chose this paper as my background and I wanted it to pop a little bit more, so I used the red. Now on the front, this is one of the large cutouts, and off that same page I cut these elements out as well as this, and then there is a card, one of the smaller cards, and I cut the word celebrate off of it so that I could tuck it here on the side. The card does fit all the way across, but you can use the top piece someplace else, but I did cut it. These are ephemera pieces as well as the pine cones down here on the bottom. I've got some brass accents. They came with the collection from Scrap and Create. So if you order from them, the full collection, she'll include these while supplies last in your order. I did do some red stickle accents on the berries. The poinsettias came to me from Scrap and Create. I did use some of my own Graphic 45 gold flat back pearls as accents, but here are the two brass elements. I used one of the small poinsettias that I had in my stash. Here's some pine cones at the base of this. This card came out of the ephemera. I've popped it up with one of the small pop-up squares, and I did use some Wink Estelle on this. I know you can't see it in the video, but it does add a little bit of a glisten to the star. And then we go here. This strip that I used here on the back comes off the same page, 12 by 12, that these came off of. So I used it here as my spine decorative element, and then did some stickles to accent the berries. And on the back, I simply used one of the small cards with a small poinsettia flower. The ribbon I'm using I got at Joann's. It's from my stash. So let's open this. It does get glitter everywhere. So here on this page, right up front, I have a couple of the ephemera that I used to make some tucks on the front of this page. I used my poinsettia flowers and then some red gems. Was pretty liberal with them to cover up the berries on the holly. And then when you open this up, we have a double-sided flap that has some belly bands here, and it still leaves you room to put in a decent-sized photo on the top and the bottom of the frame. I did accent with a couple of the brass elements that I got from Scrap and Create. These are off the sticker sheet. I mounted them onto cardstock. They are a tuck, so you can tuck something up underneath here on both sides. This is just decorative to help break up the black, but you still have room here to put a, not this large of a photo, but a decent sized photo, but you could certainly go this way with it. And then open these up, and we have a corner tuck here on both sides and some ephemera and floral beautifications up here at the top. This is a band where you have a tuck on both sides. And then over here, I used one of the large picture frames to place here on the upper part of this flap. I did accent it with the candy cane, the brass element, one of the large poinsettia flowers, and a couple of the ephemera Christmas ornaments. These are popped up so that they would come up to the height here of the frame. The frame is open on the top and the side, so once you get your photo in here, you can actually tack down this corner to keep it in there. Then when you open this up, down here, to help break up all this red, I used, this is a strip that came off of the piece that I used to cut these out of, but I treated it as a pocket down here at the bottom. So then when you get back up here to the top, we have a nice tuck. You've got a nice spot here for a decent sized photo. This is one of the ephemera Christmas stars. It is popped up, and I did put a red gem there. Now to get down here to the bottom, I used one of the smaller frames. Come in on this side, tuck it in, tack it down, and then you have plenty of room here for some journaling. Add a journaling card here, or just journal in a very dark pen, or put another photo. And then I accented down here with one of my smaller poinsettias. And then when you open this up here, we have a big deep pocket, and this is one of the chipboard elements. Here's another floral, a strip of the red beads, and I just simply use some scrap to help break up the red and give another look to the page here. Now onto this side, right up front. This is a big image, so I wanted to kind of break it up a little bit but not hide it. So I went to my scraps and picked this piece and then used some of the ephemeras. Now the way I placed these, the intent was, this is popped up, these are all popped up, was that it was to look like that these were coming out, hanging from underneath the bell. So this is a pocket on the front. And then one of the cards, I used some gems to accent it. This opens up. You have a small tuck here and a large section for photo. On this side, this is one of the large ephemera. I backed it on gold cardstock, so that gave it some sturdiness, and it's a nice tuck, but you still have room here to put some photos. This is an ephemera piece, and it's simply here just for decoration. There's no other functional purpose to it. Then when you open this up, we've got some tucks here on this, and again I used some of the black to help break up the green. And this is another tuck on this side. And then over here, the inside of this flap, I used one of the chipboard pieces that says "'Tis the Season." These are corner pieces off the sticker sheets. I mounted them on cardstock. They're simply there for decoration. They have no functional purpose. But here's another one of the picture frames accented with the poinsettia flower. Then when you open this up on the inside, to help break up a lot of this dark holly and black, I used a lot of the ephemera pieces, the Christmas ornaments, and I popped them up to give them a little bit of depth. Here's another one of the ephemera pieces here, just as a decoration. Used another one of the picture frames, come in on the side, tack that corner down. I've accented it here in the corner. And then we've got this pocket. I used some ribbon that I had, and then this chipboard piece, "'Tis the Season," to accent that down there. And then over here, here we are with another picture frame again. I was really famous for those on this album. Come in, put your photo here, tack it down. This is a small ephemera piece. It's double candles, and I popped them up on some foam pop-ups to give it some depth. Large poinsettia flower, and then here is one of the chipboard pieces with a little bit of a red bow on it to help bring in color, balance out some color. Open this up, and on this side we have a 3-tiered pocket. And I accented with brass elements here on the top and the bottom, and then a chipboard piece with gold ribbon. But each one of these pockets goes all the way to the bottom. So you can put some fairly tall items here and not worry about them sinking or bottoming out too soon. So there's plenty of room in here. This is an ephemera piece. Now let's open this up. Over here we have another ephemera. I took liberty with adding some stickles here to pull out the words Merry Christmas. Used a brass element, the dove, and then again here's another one of the Christmas stars with a red gem in the center. And it is a tuck, and then you've got room up here for your photo. And then this is a waterfall. and I did not cover more than just the 1/2 inch off the bottom. I think the gold would make a great accent if you were to put a photo here. You didn't need additional matting underneath of it. But you can go ahead and do that if that's what you want. And then we're going to go here on this side. This is another one of those bold, bright pieces of paper that came in that collection. So to help copy it or mirror it or accent it, I used some of the ephemera pieces here, the string of Christmas ornaments. I did pop them up so there'd be a little bit of depth. This is one of the cutout cards, and then a poinsettia. So you open this up, and then in here, to simply break up the red, I ran a band down the center. So it's just there to help break it up with a poinsettia to add a little bit of balanced color. These two here have some big tucks on them, and then these are the sticker ornaments out of the sticker sheets, but both of these here are tucks. And then when you open this up, I went at it a little bit differently. I cut 2 of these red panels, and then I reversed, this is the back side, to help break up this pattern. Now when I put this strip in, this came out of the stickers. When I did put that strip in, I did make a tuck out of it by just running a thin bit of tape here, but it's got a nice tight tuck on both the top and the bottom, or you can go ahead and place your photo, same on both sides. Now here in the center, to help break up the black, I used one of the larger Christmas ornament collections, accented it with some red, and then made a big pocket down here at the bottom. This came out of my scraps. This is a chipboard element with some gold. Then we go ahead and close this up. And on this one here, on the front of this, this is one of the small cards that has 2 candles and the word Noel. Well, I wanted to accent this, so I used one of the picture frames, the dark green one, placed it over it, and then glued one of the stars on there for accent, and then came across the bottom with a combination of poinsettias, and then this 3 candle collection out of the ephemera, and it's popped up here across the bottom so that it would come up to the height of this. And then this is one of the ephemera pieces that I took liberty with adding some stickles on the edges. So then when you open this up, this is simply here for decoration to help break this up, but this is your journaling or your photo. Now here, I took a different approach on this page. At this stage, we're getting close to running out of paper, and the choices are pretty limited because I try to use all the paper that I'm given. So we use some black here on the left and the right, and to help break up that black, I took another one of the cutout sheets that has all the cards. It was the duplicate that had these on it. And I used the band across the bottom to come in here to break this up. Now this is not a tuck, it just serves as a break in the pattern, adding some color, and then a poinsettia here in the center on both sides. I took the same approach with this yellow. This is the other band across the bottom of the 12 by 12 sheet. Now this is not a tuck and this is not a tuck, but what I did was I set this down low with the indication that, or the desire, I guess, to create a journaling spot, and this would fit a 5 by 7 photo. And then these are some ephemera pieces. And I did I reversed it here. So your 5 by 7 photo, and then your journaling about the event here at the top. Then when you open this up, we have another double-sided. We've got a tuck here and a tuck here, and then I use some ephemera pieces backed on gold cardstock. These are glued down, but you have plenty of room here to put a decent photo and still utilize the tuck if you want to. Now, these 6 cards measure 3 by 5, and I went in and I covered both sides, and the way I set this up was I started at the bottom and the top when I set these 2, and then these 2 here are held together with a magnet. And they cover about 1/4 of an inch, the top and the bottom, and that's what helps to keep these closed. So you open it up. And then we have a great big pocket here in the back. This is the cutout off of that same 12 by 12 sheet. And then I use an ephemera down here. And I use Winka Stella instead of the stickles. Now I did come up short on here because there's so much here in the gusset area. I didn't want to fight the gems, so I did cut the gems short on that. Whoops, got it going the wrong way. And there you have it. Merry and Bright by Graphic 45. And again, thank you to Scrap and Create for being so generous with this collection. If you have not been to their website, please do so. Share some love with them. They're very good about giving me paper to play with. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. I would appreciate your assistance and help with growing my fan base. I'll see you on the next build. Bye-bye.